What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld. And today we got some new heavyweights coming in. A lot of you guys, you're probably like, yo, these heavyweights are kind of trash. And in some cases, you guys are absolutely right. But I've been getting a lot of separate questions about, you know, how can we make these new heavyweights work depending on their attributes, which is one of the ways that I've been trying to let you guys look at Madden 20. It's not the same exact game as 19. It has made a lot of new upgrades that makes the game better. Is there going to be fluke? Absolutely. I told you guys this, but you can't expect a perfect game. Okay, you can expect like a lot of weird things not to happen that was happening back in, you know, Madden 19. But of course, there are certain bugs that are going on, but many of them are not as bad as what was happening in 19. So we need to kind of move on from it because most of you guys have, and you've been enjoying it for the most part. You've seen that these attributes matter. You've seen that you can build your team differently, and certain players that were beating you previously can't beat you now. So that's the same boat for me. Now, sometimes I'm going to rage uncontrollably during my live streams, during my videos with my gameplays, because it's certain things that just really aggravate me. But again, with certain attributes that go to certain cards, I still want the best for my viewers. Don't worry about me. When I'm in the emergency room, if you guys care, you can send me flowers. You know what I'm saying, bro? But at the end of the day, I still want to make sure that you guys have the best team out in the field. So why am I clicking on DeMarcus Lawrence? Primarily because today they're going to be dropping a heavyweight Jerry Hughes, right? Now look, 78 speed, okay, he has 83 acceleration. I just want to go over some of the things that, you know, pretty much that makes him a decent card. He has an 87 play rec, he has an 80 tackle, he has a 72 strength, which is very disgusting, but he's not that type of player. He has an 88 block shedding, a 70 power moves, but guess what? Ding, 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 ding. He has a 90 finesse moves. Okay, so for those of you guys that have played against DeMarcus Lawrence, your butt cheeks are probably still at his house. He comes in off block sheds every single snap. It doesn't matter. He's a glitch in the game. And the reason that this is very important, especially to my veterans, because a lot of you guys are like, yo, Gmia, yo, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And some of my veterans understand why I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's been with me for a while. You got to have certain players on your team that make certain plays that other players do not. This game, it's geared towards having certain abilities and X factors on your players to compete against the opposing side of the ball. So look, DeMarcus Lawrence has all this stuff, but remember, Jerry Hughes, who's coming today, 88 overall, he has a faster speed and he has a 90 finesse moves, which is the same 90 to 94. It's the same tier. So they're going to both do the same exact thing. Now, you could argue that the strength at 72 is like, yo, what is that? And that's a great point that you guys are making, because the strength is a huge factor. But you got to remember, though, when it comes down to it, the speed upgrade and then their acceleration being the same, if he's able to use his finesse moves the right way, you put the right abilities on Hughes, he's going to probably get to the backfield in a similar fashion. Another card that's very, very similar with lower speed is Joey Bosa. But the reason that I point this out is because he's a heavyweight. So his card value can't overtake what DeMarcus Lawrence is doing, but you can get a card that does exactly the same thing. That's my point, because that's what I have to, you see, when I'm starting to build my team, like for instance, yesterday, if you guys watched the video when I went to Lamar Jackson, a lot of you guys are saying, yeah, that was a mistake, that was this, that was that. It's not a mistake based on the way that I'm going to use him, though. You see what I'm saying? Like, a lot of you guys don't really understand that there's a system to what I do. So it's a method to my madness. I'm not just running around being an idiot. Even though I want to, I'm not doing that. But look, this guy is 251, okay? But he also comes with the 3 abilities stocked with his card. So ideally, you're saving training, which kind of, it gives that influx to his card. But if you don't want to spend 251 and you can snag an 88 Jerry Hughes for like 90, you know what I'm saying? You're still getting that finesse move. It's still a budget beast. You know what I'm saying? I got to see, do they show his cap amount? All right, his cap is a 33. So this guy's cap is a 171. So when you add the abilities, you don't have to add all of them. And I think with the 90 finesse moves, he should be able to get finesse specialists. So these are certain things that you guys have to take into consideration, especially with a lot of you guys that are going salary cap mode. Now, when you go to Joey Bosa is an absolute nightmare in this game. Okay, he is just outrageous with it. He's going to be in your backfield. Like I told you guys, I don't care how you take that statement. He's going to be in your backfield, and you're going to have to deal with it. These are they're game-changing plays. Okay, you can see that he's an 87, and he's going for 79K right now, right? Primarily, the reasoning behind that is because, you know, his speed and stuff like that. But you can see the difference. He doesn't have the block shedding that Hughes has. because Hughes has an 88 block shedding. You know what I'm saying? It's just a strength factor. We would have to figure out, you know, what does that strength factor mean at that position for him? Because for the most part, a lot of my players don't really have high strength that are on the D line. I think DeMarcus Lawrence is pretty decent. Like, they got 80s and stuff like that. And I know that, you know, Aaron Donald has decent strength. But when you look at Hughes, that you're going to get the finesse moves with the block shed minus the power moves. You see what I'm saying? But realistically speaking, the finesse move in the block shed is primarily what makes DeMarcus Lawrence tick. And that's what the interesting thing about it is, because when I break it down like this, then you guys are like, oh, okay, I see what he's talking about. It's not that Joey Bosa isn't a glitch. His block shedding, if there's a decent lineman on him, they're going to hold him longer because he doesn't also have block shed. DeMarcus Lawrence is like distinguished because of the block shed and the finesse moves combined. So if you get a budget beast in Jerry Hughes as a heavyweight, I believe, this is my assumption of it, I think with that finesse moves, he's going to be similar to DeMarcus Lawrence if you put the correct abilities on him. All right? You put finesse specialist on him, which he should be able to unlock because he's a 90. I do believe that it will make a difference on your defense and it'll cost you a lot less. So going forward right now, we're going to go take a look at my defense, right? With the way that everything is set up, the next thing that most of you guys are going to ask is like, all right, so how do I utilize him? Like, what do I do with him? If a guy is trying to come out and just, you know, he's running the ball, he's doing wild stuff. The finesse moves, for the most part, is not something that I've seen that's been ideal against the run. And I've been asked about that a lot. You know, does finesse move help stop the run? I'm going to go ahead and tell you probably not, because Lawrence Taylor, what happens with Lawrence Taylor is, if you look at his numbers, his finesse moves is lower than the 90 tier, but he's better at stopping the run, probably because of his power moves. The same thing with Von Miller. You guys ever notice when a guy's trying to run the ball every snap on you, and then you come out in like a 3-4 odd, and you just spread your linebackers, that they just scream off the edge when the guy's running stretch? The reason for that is when you look, the only thing that I could really come up with, because if you see both of their stats, these guys are always playing the run so excellent. The 91 power move and the 90 power move, that's the only thing that I could really think of. So I think the power move is ideal. That's for me. You guys can come up with your own scientific experiments. You guys have on your your science caps and stuff like that. You got like the smoke coming up out of the cauldron. That's all great. But what I do is I play the game and I look for specific things when my players are going up against guys that want to do certain things. And that's one of the things that I really, really noticed, is that these two guys, just spreading your linebackers, stops the run in most cases. But you got to also know who you're using. That's one of the huge things that people have to understand. You can't just run around in your safety anymore. You got to help guide one of your linebackers, you know, your middle linebackers to the side of the run to help, because the safety, unless you bring him down really deep, which puts you in a situation where you can really get burnt over the top, it's very difficult to kind of deal with somebody that understands the game very well. But when you look at that, like Aaron Donald, he's also been a beast on certain runs. I play him right inside of my 3-4. He comes off also. You can see the power move, all right? DeMarcus Lawrence typically is not making plays on the run for me. But if you drop back to pass, he is in your backfield instantly, which is why I've come up with the actual solution that those power moves are glitchy for the run. The finesse moves, obviously, they're coming right in for the pass. So you should have a combination of both. So looking at it going forward right now, when you guys are probably saying, all right, so what are we doing? Are we going after Hughes? Okay, look, this is the situation, right? He is a right end. And at this point, he's not overtaking Aaron Donald. Statistically, Aaron Donald is probably, just because of his strength being higher tier with the 90, is going to be one of the best right ends in the game for the entirety of the game. Like, there's not going to be much that other cards are going to be able to do to compete with him at those numbers that he has currently right now. But again, when it comes down to it, once they increase his finesse move over 90, that's when he's the ultimate glitch. You understand? Like, that's when it's like, because the next card, they're going to have to give him at least a 90 finesse moves. All right, I don't know why it's not there already, but they're going to have to give him at least a 90 finesse moves. He's going to have to be at least a 90 power moves, and then his block shit is going to have to be a 90. So he's going to be one of the only cards that meet all the criteria without the additional boost. So temporarily, if you don't have an Aaron Donald, you might want to consider a Hughes. And just like I said, understand what I'm saying. He lacks the power move, so he might not be as good in the run game, but he'll be excellent in the pass game. And that's pretty much how you guys have to pick and choose how you guys are going to go forward within the game, because your cards at this point, this early in the game, can't have everything. And a lot of you guys want everything regardless. It doesn't work that way. Like, you're not going to get a card with everything, but based on the format of the way I play defense, you guys will understand. Like, I'm going to go and show you guys my record right now for head-to-head. I haven't been able to play a lot. Like I said, it's been like a very, very busy time for me right now. But when I do get on the game to play, and I play someone that's a decent player, these things and the way that I build my team, this is the things that work for me. Because I analyze what attributes work, and then I figure out how it's going to work for me inside of whatever I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So you could go ahead and see. I'm 48-15, right? I think like 3 or 4 of those, well, like 4 of those losses are from disconnect, so I obviously have like 11. I think I have like 11. I haven't won a Super Bowl yet because I keep losing in the Super Bowl. It's just my luck. I go into a Super Bowl, I'm playing a guy that he just doesn't care about anything, and he just throws it at my user on a regular basis. There's nothing I can do about it. I gotta, you know, appreciate that the guy is doing that to me, and then after the game is over, I gotta give him my mom's cell phone number. That's pretty much the way I look at it. But I have been coming up short in the Super Bowls, but I will get you guys some Super Bowls, you know, very, very soon. Looking at where I am right now and my rank with the limited amount of games that I've played, I'll show you guys that as well. So right now, I'm at the MVP level, okay? So it's something that's working for me, that's making sure that I'm continuing to progress upwards, but still, like I said, it's a situation where I'm gonna have to get clutched up. You guys gonna make sure I get clutched up though. 'Cause I'm gonna be streaming the whole season, so I know you guys gonna make sure I get clutched up on Twitch. But the players that I have in place right now, they work for me because of everything. Everyone knows that this game's meta is to run the ball every snap. That's something that you have to make sure that you have players with power move. Now, because I run a 3-4, I could use him inside of, you know, if I didn't have Aaron Donald, I could use him inside of the right end position, primarily because he's inside and LT is on the outside. I have yet to experiment with somebody with a 90+ finesse next to LT, because remember, that finesse moves helps LT scream off the edge, regardless of a run or pass. So you got to understand that when you're analyzing this, don't just look at the card as, yo, this dude's garbage. See his attributes and try to see how you can utilize them best. And then from there, you make your decision. Let me know if you're going to be going after Hughes. Is it a budget squad or you know money spent? Give me all that info in the comments. Please feel free to go ahead and subscribe. Click that post notification to know when I drop a vid. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time, though. Until next time, one love.